No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. And today I'm in here with somebody that I got a huge amount of respect for, somebody who's a real genius of marketing from my perspective. I feel like I want to learn a lot from this guy today, and hopefully everybody at home will too. Young LB is in the building.
You heard? What it do, man?
How you feeling, man?
Man, blessed, you know. We here.
We're here. This guy, I don't know, I watched another interview that you did, and I was just like, wow, that right there, that's a dude who knows how to market something, how to build a brand, and how to really put in that like street level footwork to make that shit happen.
You know, it was just, you know, being from the Bay Area, you know, it's nothing but independent artists, you know what I'm saying? So I learned from being around 40, you know what I'm saying? Out the trunk, Too Short.
Okay.
You know, just the independent hustle.
Wait, I thought you were from Long Beach.
Originally from Long Beach, born and raised, then moved to the Bay Area in like 03.
Okay, so at like what age?
17, 16.
17. Okay, what was Long Beach like from your perspective? You were involved in all that?
Hell yeah, my whole family, they all Crips and shit in Long Beach and shit like that. You know, it's a city by the sea. There's
right.
nothing but blue.
Yeah.
Ain't no other, you know, it's essays and Crips, that's it.
But a lot of people would think that if it was only Crips that there wouldn't be any beef to get into, which is not the case.
They got their own, it's Crips
yeah.
fighting Crips out there, so, you know, but I left at an early age to where it was like, I was able to see the hustle, you feel me, as far as like, cause you know, it's Long Beach, every in LA is hustling too. They got dudes out here doing their shit, you know what I'm saying? But when you go to the Bay Area, that's all they do.
Right.
You feel me? And it's independent shit. Like out here, it'd be like it's like the big homies got to put the little homies on.
Right.
When you go to the Bay, it's little 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds got their own chicken.
Right.
Got their own motion. They not caring about the big homies.
The first time I ever went to the Bay, and I was living in New York City at the time, but I just realized like, oh, everybody out here has got a pound of weed in their backpack or is selling e-pills or on some crazy hustle that I was really not seeing people do that often in New York.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. Like, that's the thing in the Bay Area. Like, it's pimping, it's bipping, it's a lot of hustling, it's growers, you know what I'm saying? Like, they get into the industry as far as making some money early on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, early on.
Wait, so, okay, in Long Beach, though, how would you describe yourself as a kid? Like, you were fully wrapped up in the streets, or did you have this sort of creative mind? Were you being pulled in both directions?
Yeah, I was in both directions. Ever since I was a little young bull, like, I was always around my pops and, his friends, you know what I'm saying? And I'm Tongan, you know what I'm saying? So my pops always had like different ethnicities going to work. You know, he used to work at a shower company, so all his partners and all this shit be like, this your son? And I'm like, and he was like, yeah. He was like, he different, you know, because my older brothers was gang banging. And I was running around playing sports. I was trying to be on some fly shit. Right. I was into the women, all that shit. I was dating early, you know what I'm saying? I was outside, I was off the porch at 12 years old. I was smoking weed.
What's it like being Tongan, though? And because everybody just lumps you in with black. Like, you look black, but like, how do you differentiate that, or how do you think about that?
I don't care what they think I am. You feel me? I'm going to let y'all know what the history is, what I got going on. Right. I got a story behind me, you know what I'm saying? So, shit, it sparks up a lot of conversations.
That's one sad thing about America, though, is that a lot of people can't trace their lineage back, so that everybody kind of gets lumped in as black. When I mean, if you're in England, if you're in a lot of parts of Europe, you could have two black guys who would be able to say, "Oh, my family is from here. We immigrated in this year, etc." Exactly. Very few people in America got that.
Yeah, now I know that for sure. We came out here in like the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, okay.
You know, like we fresh out here. Like the Samoans been out here longer than us.
So your parents were, or your family, they were born there and they came over.
Yeah, for sure.
You're the first generation who was born here.
I'm the first generation out here, for sure. Like my brothers was born in Tonga.
Right.
And they came out here. When they moved out here in 86, that's when I was, you feel me, they came out here and they had me out here. Right. And it was boom, it was lit after that.
Culturally, how would you differentiate it? Like,
we don't got no hot water on our island.
Oh.
You got to be rich to have that. You feel me? It's so humid. It's like the islands though. It's like Hawaii. You know, it's humid, so it's not too much as far. It's only 35,000 Tongans on the island.
Oh wow.
It's only like 150, maybe 200,000 in the world.
Right.
Like we a rare breed.
So Long Beach, everything was going good, or did you leave because shit was not going good?
Nah, the shit. Like my mom was out there. You know, like we coming out here. We didn't have no type of direction, so we just came to America just looking for a dream. Like, you know, my mom came here working 3 jobs, catching a bus everywhere, and then she, you know, like being an islander, it's either we flight attendants or we was doing caregiving, you know, and then concrete work.
Right.
So that's why a lot of islanders live around the airports. You know what I'm saying? Those are the jobs that was available for us. So my mom was in the caregiving. She was a nurse. She got a degree in college and all this shit on the island of Tonga. So when she came here, she had, you know, she had a resume. So when she started going to these different jobs, it was cool in LA, and then she looked up on a job with a caregiving job with a lady since '03. You feel me? And I'm in the Bay Area. So she moved to the Bay, and I stayed out in LA with my grandma.
For a little while?
Yeah, for like 2 years, and then that's when my mom was like, "You tripping, bro? You need to come out here." You know?
Because you were starting to get in trouble and shit?
Because I was outside tripping.
Right.
You know? I was down 128 credits my senior year.
Oh, wow.
And I went to the Bay and I graduated.
Right.
Valedictorian of my class.
Were you pissed off at the idea of having to leave the city that was basically everything you knew?
Yeah, for sure. I was like, I left the homies, I left everybody, I left gangbanging, I left everything.
Right.
You know? And I went to the Bay, and I'm like, I don't know nobody here. You feel what I'm saying? But it was Tongans there, so I had cousins that I've been knowing forever, though. You know, I was always going to the Bay like once or twice a year ever since a kid. So when I came, it was already, I knew where my cousins and shit was at, you know? So I would go from San Francisco to San Mateo on the train, you feel me? And go fuck with the Tongans. And then that opened up a whole different avenue as far as I was selling dope in the Bay Area. My first time selling crack cocaine was at like 17.
Not this dope.
Nah, hell no. This is the new dope. This the new dope. We got the new dope on it illegally. You feel what I'm saying?
Because sometimes on this podcast I'll say something about smoking dope and somebody will like clearly think I'm talking about heroin.
Yeah, but that's
kind of
weird.
weird.
I ain't gonna lie. That's what the Tongans. That's what they call weed, crack, whatever it is. It's smoking dope. You feel me? So when I was coming home high, my mom was always like, "Stop smoking the dope," and I'm like, "Mom, this is weed."
Yeah.
And now my mom called me now, "Hey, son, can you give me CBD cream from the store, some THC?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, now we smoking weed now, huh?"
Right.
For sure. So that shit's crazy how everything transferred into this now. You know
So
what I'm saying?
were you always just focused on making a bag and changing your situation? And it was always obvious to you that drugs were how you going to get there?
Nah, hell no. I thought I was gonna be a basketball player. You know, I do music too.
Oh, your music's fire, actually.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna be a rapper, all this shit. Then that's all I wanted though. I just knew I was gonna be famous. I swear to God.
Really?
And I was just gonna tell myself like, I'm gonna be around Jay-Z. I'm gonna be around the greats for real. You know, I told myself this when I was a kid. I swear to God. And I just, you know, then I started learning about fucking law of attraction when I went to the Bay, you know, manifestations and shit like that. So I just started applying it, not knowing I was doing that as a young bull. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know none of this shit. I was just like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be somebody. Fuck all this shit. And then it just happened to be, I was smoking weed since 12.
Right.
And then I started selling weed.
You think it's healthy to smoke weed from 12?
Healthy?
Do you think it's good for a young child's brain's maturation? Like,
hell, I can't even say that because if my son, I got sons now, you feel me? And if he wanted to smoke and all this shit, I'm not finna take it away from him and say no, you know, but I'm gonna teach him how to smoke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because then even to that, you wanna be able to like school your kids on what type of drugs or whatever they doing, you know, whatever they into. Because when we was growing up, they didn't tell us that this was gonna be the effects or this might happen or you might get the consequences of this. You know what I'm saying? So at least I'll be able to give them some game and school them in the right direction as far as how to use the drug.
But I saw a quote from you that was basically you saying that you would make sure that your kid was smoking good weed.
Yes.
But isn't there like don't you think a kid should kind of start off with the booth? Like, are they ready for the white runts from day one?
Nah. You gotta give them the good shit. You feel
Really?
me? Hell yeah, for sure. You know, that's just like, you gotta imagine when all these like super like just say like Will Smith and them, right?
Right.
You know, they were born into being rich.
If my kid was 18 tomorrow, I would way rather her get drunk off White Claw than, you know, hard liquor. Because it's weaker, she's going to be able to pace herself a little bit better.
This is the difference, though, as far as what White Claw or hard liquor. You can mix the hard liquor. You don't have to take shots.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's a good thing to tell a kid, yeah.
Nah, but I'm saying overall,
true,
though, you
yeah.
feel what I'm saying? So if you're going to give somebody something, you rather give them the best of everything.
Right.
Cloth,
well,
clothes,
I remember
food,
the first time I drank vodka, and we were just like, oh, we're going to drink the vodka. We're just slamming the vodka down our throat, not realizing, like, no, you mix it with something and then you drink it somewhat slowly because it's very powerful.
But that's what I'm saying. Somebody taught you after.
Yeah, I know. So you got to make those mistakes.
Yeah, you got to be able to. Hey, don't drink that. Yeah, don't drink that. Don't beer gonna get you that belly.
But part of what I would tell my kid if she wanted to smoke weed at 12 would be like, nah, let's give it a few years.
But it's not like somebody said, oh, LB, let's go smoke. Like it wasn't like I'm teaching. Nobody was teaching me. It was just more of my friends, my peers.
It was just around.
Yeah,
from day
it was
one,
around.
Yeah.
My partner was smoking. I don't know how he was having weed at 12 years old, but he was like, yo, about to smoke some weed. I'm like, shit, let's go.
Right.
We hit the alley. I'm like, yo, this is fucking crazy.
You loved it from right away?
Ever since then, it was lit.
Really?
It was lit.
You always loved smoking weed from
Yeah.
the very beginning?
I was getting in trouble for weed everywhere. My brothers would catch the weed and beat my ass.
Really?
Because they would think it was dope. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, this is weed, bro.
Right.
And then when I got to where I knew how to like make some money with it, I'm like, man, y'all got me fucked up. I'm staying with this shit. I don't care. I'm gonna lie to y'all all the shit, and then now they asking me for weed.
Right. Okay. Some people I see, I feel like they start smoking weed and it doesn't hurt their hustle. But a lot of kids, I feel like who I see and they've been smoking since they're real young, that it kind of like demotivates them at a certain point, and that they kind of lose that like energy that they might have.
I don't think it was just weed though.
Right.
I think they're doing other drugs for them to get that like low. You feel me? Like weed ain't gonna have you just down and out. It's either gonna make you hungry. You ain't gonna be no like no, looking like a dope fiend or nothing like that.
I don't know. There's plenty of times when I was younger where I smoked some weed and there was no possible way that I was gonna get anything done at all.
But that's the thing too. Like even now, at a grown person, like you got to be able to like balance out how much weed you smoking. Because I can smoke all this right now.
Right.
I'm sleeping the next few hours for
Stuck.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just how much you take. And then when you get older, it depends. Like I don't smoke as much. I used to smoke like 20 blunts and shit like that.
Really?
In the studio, just be like, oh yeah, roll up. We toasting everything. Now, hell no, I roll this shit big enough so I smoke it like a cigar.
Right. How many of those you smoke a day?
Like 3, 2, 3.
Wake up to one.
Yeah, for sure. Wake
midday
up.
For the
but
interview.
Like I said, we just chopping it up. It'll go out. I'm chilling. I'm high.
Right.
Now I'm not chasing to walking around like red eyes and all this shit. I'm just trying to get this shit and go. You know what I'm saying? So Let me hit that bitch. All right, boom. And it got to be wicked though.
It got to be what?
It got to be wicked.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Oh, so the lighter is no good.
The lighter is good because we needed to light it. You
right.
feel me? But,
but
we want natural flame.
So when I'm hitting the spliff and sucking in the juice from the lighter, that's no good?
You smoking butane.
Right.
How you not?
You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
You got to be able to, that shit's pulling all through there, so it's in there.
Right.
You feel me? So at least with this, you get a natural flame and you just get to taste the weed a little bit better.
Right. You do the dabs and the wax? And
I do it, but it's not my shit.
Okay.
I'll probably hit it once or something.
Edibles?
I'll eat it on a plane.
Okay.
Certain shit, but like that's not my wave on,
If somebody right now just gave you a big box of 10 weed cookies, are you going to be like, getting home, be like, I'm gonna eat one of them, or is it not even really tempting?
It's just whatever, like literally, It's literally I would just eat it on a plane. It'll be more like a plane thing for me for an edible, because you can't smoke.
Right.
You feel me? You can't vape on that bitch. So shit, I'll be eating edibles on that bitch for sure.
Yeah.
I'm getting high and I'm going to sleep straight up.
I've definitely been there and then had to do the transfer to the next flight, and then I was just so fucked up off the edible that I could barely get to the next terminal.
That's the fucked up part. I don't do the connecting flight or try to go to the. I'm one way there and that's it. You feel me? So when I wake up, we landing.
Right. That's smart. You ever take a Xan on the plane?
I never took a Xan, period.
You never were tempted to fuck with those at all?
Hell no. I seen so many of my partners tweaked out on it, and I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
Right.
Literally, like I just took a fucking Addy just recently.
Really? For the first time?
Yeah, for the first time.
It blew your mind?
It was just keeping me up, but it's like, man, if my energy and my adrenaline is up and it's fun, I don't even need no fucking drug.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm lit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That really be to keep the party going.
But were you fucking with drinking when you were younger?
Hell no.
You never a drinker?
Hell no. Like that shit just came around now.
Okay.
Because sometimes it'd be fun when you kind of drunk, for real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you overly drunk, that should be, and you tripping, that's why I don't like the alcohol shit.
No, I agree, yeah.
If you tripping and you drinking, bro,
couple shots, couple drinks, I can get behind that.
Yeah, that's player.
Getting fall down drunk, I'm sorry, no.
Nah, hell
please,
no. I was fucked up last night, though. I ain't gonna lie. I was wasted. I was white boy wasted. That's what you call it, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, we went bowling last night, and I just got overly drunk, but it was fun as fuck.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I'm like, shit, all right.
I mean, if you have a night drinking and you can say it was fun and that the hangover was not so bad
I didn't even have a hangover. I just woke up late. I was fired. I came here. I'm lit. I would have been here tripping if I was drunk, like overly drunk. You know what I'm saying?
That's good. That's a sweet spot.
Yeah,
you never hit the coke?
Hell yeah, I was fucking with the coke.
Really?
I was fucking with it all,
no
bro.
Zans and no alcohol, but previously, but you were fucking with the coke.
Yeah, because I knew it was pure. I don't know what the fuck is in them pills and shit like that.
You do not know what's in the coke either.
Shit, I was getting I was
I mean,
getting that shit from
Long Beach, close to Mexico, so might not be too fucked up.
But I wasn't doing coke in L.A.
Oh, this is in the Bay.
This is in the Bay. You
Okay,
feel me? Like I wasn't there at all. I was just getting some money, and then not just that. When you be around like females, that's really that shit that push you on to doing it. It's not the niggas. It's not your partners. Hey, bro, let's go have a snorting. Fuck no. You feel me? It'd be more the girls asking for it. Oh yeah, I get it. Then when they do it, they be like, fuck it, let me get a bump. You feel me?
But a lot of gangster ass dudes, when they get together with their homies, they snort a bunch of white girl together.
No, but I'm saying the introduction from it comes from like more like a chick doing it, and then once the homies start knowing, oh, you got it. Oh yeah, let's have a snort party. And no, fool. Crazy.
The reality is if you want a cheat code to get a lot of pussy in your life, keeping the coke around is...
For sure. Keep drugs around.
And really even the weed
too,
yeah.
Just drugs.
Right.
Any drug around, you for sure gonna have some females asking for it, and you're gonna have a fucking lit-ass time.
So you see the weed groupies out there?
To be honest, I don't be like...
Oh, because you're a married man now, right?
Nah, well, you know, shit. You know, I'm in a situation. So
you see what's going on though. I wonder what the rap groupies are pretty crazy.
No, they all group. I don't even think it's like a label to them. They all bounce around. You know what I'm saying? I see it's the same shit. I don't see the same females everywhere. It's so you gotta just find you a solid one and stay down. You know what I'm saying?
So okay, you're running around in the Bay, fucking with all these different street dudes and stuff, fulfilling their drug needs. Where does it go from there? When do you start to realize that you could be like building a brand and that there's a whole future in this shit?
So when I went to the Bay in like 2003, I linked up with Jack, rest in peace to the mob figures. I linked up with Jack in like 2008, you feel me?
Okay.
And I used to sip syrup heavy back then.
I should have asked about that too.
Yeah, that was the introduction to me even being around the rappers and all this shit too, because every rapper want this shit.
If you have lean, that's the ultimate way to get around rappers.
Man, if I had bottles of this shit, I'll get anybody and anyone. It don't matter who, what, where. You feel me? Like, they want that shit, So,
if you got some pints, you could realistically you could get the biggest rappers in the game
for sure
to have you in the studio just because you got a couple pints.
It's really just drugs. You feel me? It depends on what artist and what, because certain artists want certain drugs. You feel me? Because with the weed, with the run shit, this shit get me in any door.
Right.
It got me in every door. It got me to this door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Literally. So it depends on what drug you have, and then it becomes the popular drug.
Right.
And syrup was the popular drug.
Still is.
Not really.
You don't think?
Yeah,
they
sipping it for sure, but it's not talked about like how it used to be.
It used to be a little crazy.
They used to talk crazy about, they was making super shit songs and crazy anthems and for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So, but it's not as much as far as like, because I used to hear it from everyone. I just feel like I hear it only from a first.
If the price of lean went down, then I would believe that it was getting less popular. But it's like
go down.
But it's
dramatic.
dipping.
Yeah, a little when it went down.
Dubb said to me the other day, he's like, I've never seen the price go down.
No, it went down. It went down a little bit, but it wasn't dramatically crazy because they got new syrup now everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They got new fucking companies. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. Literally, I'm cool. But when I stopped the syrup, that's when the money shit started going up. That's when Runtz became it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I said, when I met Jack in 2008, 2009.
And you met him just because you were the lean man?
Off the syrup. It was off syrup. You feel me? Like it was in the studio. He came in the studio and we had bricks of ack in there.
Whoa.
Literally. It was literally bricks of ack. And he came in, he's like, yep, oh shit, what the fuck? Hey, what y'all? And I'm like, what? I'm like, here, take a bottle. You
Best friends, boom.
Swear to God, never since then, it was like we locked in. He told me to come to the mini mansion, came to the crib, and I ain't never left. You feel me? He just gave a nigga, like, Jack was one of the people that gave me a structure as far as, not even me, just everybody in that house structure on just how to be around people. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself. And he was Muslim. So he taught me a lot of shit about, just cultures and things like that. And I was teaching him that about the Tongans and all that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And the crazy part was like they were beefing it with the Tongans in their city at the time. And I'm from Long Beach, so it kind of like he was cool with it. But then when he genuinely see who I was there every day, rocking, mobbing everywhere. He was like, what? Like, this bro, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that's how I met Burner.
Through being around Jacket.
Yeah, you know, that Burner was doing, you know, he was a bud tender at one of the dispensaries, and he was doing music at the time. And, you know, Jack was lit. You know, Mob Figures, they've been doing their shit for a while. SIBO, all this, so who wouldn't want to do no music with Jack? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he was trying to do an album with him, and they end up locking in, you know, and that's what introduced Burner as far as, or me to Burner, you know, just knowing who Burner was.
But where was Burner at in terms of his hustle? Because he's definitely one of the dudes you look at who has made the most out of his roots in the weed game, right?
He cracked it off. You feel me? Like, there was other dudes and shit like that that's been in the industry doing it, but he showed you how to brand weed.
Right.
You know? And he was like using the music and all this shit and fashion to show people, you know what I'm saying? And that right there opened my eyes, because I got Cookies tatted on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but this is 2008. Like, was he like, you were having conversations with him, but he was still kind of.
But I didn't meet Burner till 2010.
Oh, okay.
I was with Jack 2008, mobbing around for 2 years, and we'll see him. But I didn't meet him till 2010. And then I met him, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then when Jack passed away, is when and then I met him just like 2 times or some shit. And then when Jack passed away, that's when I seen Burner again.
Right.
And we locked in.
What was that like for you when he passed, though?
It was crazy, because it was random, you feel me? It wasn't like he was just caught in the middle of some bullshit that was already happening in a certain neighborhood.
Right.
You know? That was the crazy part. He called us to go to the studio. We were supposed to go meet him at the studio. We was in Sacramento, me and his brother J.O., and then we get the phone call. And this shit was crazy. We didn't even believe this shit.
Damn. That's crazy.
It was many, bro. Swear to God.
So then you tap in with Burner and you start working with him as well?
Then we go to the funeral. I see Burner there, you know?
Right.
I see everybody was at Jack's funeral. Like, you know, it was all everybody. So then I met Burner, and then we locked in, but we didn't all the way lock in until me and Ray Bama linked up, you know?
Right.
So when me and Ray linked up, you know, Ray and Burner are like brothers. So he started bringing me around and started talking about me to Burner, and gave Burner that it put his guard down. You feel me? So with that, I was going everywhere, to every cookie functions, everything. Went on tour with Burn, everything. You know what I'm saying? And we was a Cookie Boys. We started our own little group type shit. It was me, Ski Mask, Nero, and Holly. You feel me? Guy Holly. So we was running around on road with him, and we was the Cookie Boys. They already had the Cookie Fam. You feel me? And the Cookie Fam was fucking like them growing, you know, all the growers and all these people that was been at the table for a while. We went with Cookie Boys because Jack used to always say, man, you a boy. And that meant like you a king, you feel what I'm saying? Like you the nig, you know what I'm saying? So we ran with the Cookie Boys, and we was just a street marketing team, you know? And everywhere we went, literally, you feel me? And even Germ Jilla, my brother Germ T. Kill, he was part of the Cookie Boys, you feel me?
Right.
We were running around crazy. We would always go to the warehouse and get the merch, get the cookie like boxes of this shit, and we would be wearing this shit and hitting the road.
Right.
And we would just be presenting this shit, and then we were selling weed too.
And they're paying you to do all the street promo type stuff, or
we
you're just doing it for the love?
We did this shit on GP.
Really?
Swear to God. Because he gave us clothes, and we was just like, fuck rocking all this designer shit, let's rock bro shit. You feel me? So it didn't click to me what was going on. You know what I'm saying? It was just more of us just doing it. You know, because Germ is for sure one of the dudes too that opened my eyes as far as the network. Because Germ was around Mac Miller, Wiz Khalifa. Like, he was around the industry early on, Schoolboy Q, but he just didn't have product as far as even like his own product. You know what I'm saying? So we would go to all these shows and everything with Germ and all this shit, and he would just open my eyes to like, how the fuck is this nigga in the room with these dudes? You know what I'm saying? And he had weed.
Right.
You feel me? So Germ was literally one of the dudes that really like sparked it, like, oh, okay, and then boom, we around Burner, you know? And then when we was around Burner, we was on tour. Germ didn't go on tour with us, you know what I'm saying? So that opened up the door as far as for like Nero and a lot of other people that was coming, being at the table, you know?
Right.
And when we was on the road, the first 2 tours, Ray Bama called me, was like, bruh, I got a strain for us. We could do the same shit what you doing for cookies and shit like that. We could do this shit for our own shit. And I'm like, Bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. Just come with the good weed. I'm gonna sell this shit. You know what I mean?
Right, because I mean, I feel like when I'm hearing this, it sounds like it was only a matter of time you being around all these entrepreneurs and all these people who are building brands before you were just like, man, I got to be able to.
For sure.
I got to start building my own shit.
Not even like, you know, like disrespect to even burn or cookie or nothing, but just like you said, nobody paid us. You feel me? We ran around doing all this brand promotion and awareness, because when we was on tour with Playboi Carti, I was the opening act. I wasn't just, like, on the road with him. I was like, bro, I'll go on tour if you give me a 5-minute slot. You feel me? And he was like, shit, it's good. So I opened up every tour on Carti. So with that, I was running around with cookie clothes. I was getting the crowd control on some, like, when I say cookies, y'all say boys, cookie boys. You feel me? So we represented cookies.
Right.
But I didn't get a check from it.
Right.
You know?
What year are we talking that you were on tour with Carti?
2000... What was it, 17 there?
17, like when he first started popping off? Yeah,
17 when because I met Carti when he was opening up for the ASAP Ferg tour.
Okay.
When Carti just cracked off, he was opening up for ASAP Ferg.
Right.
And everybody will be coming to the Bay Area to look for weed.
Right.
They would think about burner. They can't get the burner.
Because 2017, I went on tour with Lil Pump, and I remember on that tour, that song came out that was like, woke up to looking like me.
Exactly.
Crazy.
That right there, though.
Like overnight, that was the only song that anybody wanted to hear for a while.
I swear to God, bro.
Yeah.
And that right there, like, I didn't even know who the fuck Playboi Carti was. But then when we went on tour, this fucking crowd and all, I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? You know what I'm saying? And then we seen that he was with like Ian Connor, you know what I'm saying? ASAP was stamping him and shit. And I'm like, man, we on the road, fuck it.
Right.
You know? And that built me being around, because when I opened up for Playboi Carti, Gunna was opening up, Pierre Bourne was opening up, and Nudie was opening up. So it would be me, Pierre Bourne, Gunna, Nudie, then Carti.
You had no idea what greatness was
about
to be there, man.
But they didn't even know what greatness was there.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
Gunna in 2017 is pretty fucking early right there.
Bro, I'm G.O.D. Nudie was bigger than Gunna.
Right.
Nudie was bigger than Gunna at that time.
Definitely, yeah.
So, like, when we was on the road, that shit was just, it opened my eyes to, like, networking and shit like that.
Because that's the thing that I feel like you're a god at, that you're like crazy good at, is just understanding the value of being around people and utilizing that to your advantage. But there's something very real about how you get around people, because a lot of people, once you're in a position with some kind of clout or power, you get so jaded to people trying to run up on you, trying to talk to you about their business, trying to give you some weed, whatever. Sure. It can get so hard to get through to somebody that you have to be like a really fucking cool, genuine person to get people to accept you in that way.
For sure. And then not even that, it's not even just like you said, I didn't give a fuck about acceptance. You feel me? Like, we came in as far as we were so confident at what we had, product-wise, that it was gonna stand on itself. And then I just been around so long, I just said, fuck it, we activating it. We having our own merch. We doing our own shit. We wearing our shit, bro. I seen Burner. I seen Cookies. I seen this shit, bro. I was on the road.
Right.
It makes no sense for us not to do our own shit and print this shit and get on the road, bro.
Right.
You know? But I've been around merchandise and printing up shirts and shit my whole life. I used to be signed to Keep It Lit Records. You know, that was a Tongan record label. You know what I'm saying? So,
out of Long Beach or out of the Bay?
It wasn't out the Bay, but it was out of Sacramento, actually.
Oh, okay.
You know, long live King Lil Bo. That was my cousin. You feel me? And he believed in me. He came and grabbed me from LA, and literally we started a record label called Keep It Lit Records.
Wow.
And we went on tour. We went on I think it was like 24 cities, and we sold out 22 in the island community, from Hawaii, Utah, all this shit. And we was on a tour with the tour bus. I mean, not a tour bus, with a Sprinter. Printing up our own Keep It Lit records, everything. You know, we had our own screen printing, everything. I had everything at a warehouse. We had our own studio. So it just opened my eyes early on how to be independent. You know what I'm saying? So when I came to the Bay Area fully, like, you know, I was back and forth from Sacramento to the Bay in LA. So when I fully came back to the Bay Area and was fucking around, I already understood branding, you know what I'm saying? But I just didn't take it to the max, because I was always wearing my own clothes. I was doing Keep It Lit Records, 25/8. I was already printing my own shit, you know what I'm saying? So when it got to being around Cookies, I was like, fuck, all right, let me mix and match. Let me wear a Keep It Lit hat with Cookie, all this shit. And then I'm like, fuck it, I'm all the way full throttle with Cookies, you know? And that just gave me the lane, like, all right, fuck it, I see what we got going on.
So when you started doing your own strain, though, did you feel like you were fully separating from Cookies, or did you stay kind of doing both?
Nah, we was doing both, because I never, I'm loyal. It wasn't like we was going to do, like we about to be, oh, hell no, fuck burner, fuck cookies. Now like, shit, let's just start this so we could get a check, because we wasn't getting a check from cookies.
Were you having that conversation with them though?
As far as getting the check from them?
Like, yeah, like, hey, I could just get paid by you, and then I wouldn't go do my own strain. I'll just be 100% focused.
It wasn't no like solid conversation, because it wasn't me and Burner as far as being like, we weren't the super bro. It was him and Ray. You know, so him and Ray would be talking, and Ray would come back and give me information on what was going on. You feel me? And then me and Burn got a cool relationship, and we started texting each other, and we started, rocking. But as far as starting our own shit, it wasn't no like, all right, hell no, like fuck them. You feel me? It was more like, shit, we need some money, bro. What we doing?
So this is Runtz when you leave Cookies and start your new thing.
We started Runtz.
And who's involved from the beginning? Like, what's the whole arrangement look like, and who do you have to get involved with to get the product and everything?
At the beginning or now?
In the beginning, yeah. Like,
it was me. It was me, Ray, and Nick. Nick was the grower.
Right.
You feel me? So Nick never even knew nothing about Runtz. They called it a different name.
Okay.
And Ray was like, yo, I got this strain that's fire as fuck. I think we should brand this, So we went up there to Oakland and literally went to his house, the grower's house. But it wasn't even his house. It was his cousin. Shout out to Nick and Miles. For real. Like, this is the real story.
Okay.
You feel me? We drove up there to Oakland to Miles' house, and he brought out the pounds. You feel me? And it was like, what the fuck is this?
You knew it was special?
It was different. It was like a sour diesel fluff shit, but it was purple, and it had a sweet like smell and everything to it. I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? Right. And they called it like they were trying to call it like a purple Skittles, and then but the name that we got was 1BR, because they were selling it on a 100-block radius in Oakland. You feel me? And shout out to Cool John. Cool John was the first one to even had this shit before, like during the same time, and he called it a different name, and we called it a different name. But we were so confident in it, we even went to Cool John's house, because he started posting it and calling it something different. I'm like, bro, we're standing behind this shit. We're gonna call this shit Runtz. And you feel me? He was like, shit, if this is what y'all gonna push, all right, you feel me? Go ahead. But you're like, why Runtz? You feel me? Like, man, because it tastes like candy. You feel me? You don't know what candy you getting out of the Runtz bag. Right. Lemon, banana, cherry, strawberry. So it was the same shit. Like, you didn't know what you was tasting, but it was candy. So after we left Cool John, we went into full brand mode. Like, all right, this is it. You feel me? Then we pulled up to the fucking what was it? It was what was it there? It was that grow. It was in the Bay Area. The Emerald Cup. We went to the Emerald Cup. It was our first appearance. Cookies had a big ass booth there. You feel me? And Cookies wanted us there to come promote. And we literally came up. We printed up fucking hoodies, t-shirts, and we had like, I think Nick had hired like four models, 4 or 5 models. You feel me? Cutting the shirts, making it to where it was like, like sexy shit. Right. So we went there. We didn't even have a booth. We went there and literally passed out hoodies and gave out weed. Right. You know what I'm saying? But we were doing it everywhere throughout the whole shit, and everybody seen us and see what we was doing. They was like, who the fuck is these dudes? Right. And that cracked it off for real.
Because the main question when you start a weed brand, right, is like, what's more important, the product or the branding?
Both.
You can't get by without either.
You can't have booth. Yeah. You feel me? Niggas will be like, man, we don't want this bullshit. Fuck out of here.
But there's a lot of people, I think, who start like a weed brand, and then the weed itself is kind of an afterthought, and they're expecting the marketing to do all of the work.
But a lot of them be thinking the weed is doing all the work. Yeah. Sometimes, you could just sell good weed. It's going to sell itself. You know what I'm saying? You don't even need packaging. Right. That shit's going to sell itself. But with the packaging, with all this type of new shit we got going on, it's like, it looks cool now. Right. You know what I'm saying? It transitioned from just being in a sandwich bag into something that you could look at now. Yeah.
If you had some fire packaging with some whack-ass weed, do you think you could make it hot?
Nah, you're gonna get that first load off, right, and they're not double backing. And then some people be like, bro, you sold me some booth, I want my shit back. Really? I'm like, what? Joke's up.
Does that ever happen? is there any possibility of that happening?
Of what, getting their money back?
Yeah, do you give refunds for weed?
As far shit, I never gave no money back as far as for weed. It was just more, I'm gonna make the situation right.
Just to keep it cool with the person.
Like, you feel me? Like this shit already in the bank account.
Right.
Jokes up.
Because all right, 10 years ago, you could kind of pull the wool over somebody's eyes in terms of weed, maybe.
For sure.
And these days, the consumer is just way too
Everybody
knowledgeable.
Smoke weed. Everybody smoke weed.
Right.
Everybody. There's what? It's kids smoking weed, bro. I was smoking weed at 12. They smoking good weed now.
But what percentage of the weed consumer actually knows what they're looking at? Like a lot of people, you can still pull the wool over their eyes, right?
They don't know. Hell
it's
no.
only like the upper 10% of weed smokers, or maybe 20%. I don't know. You tell me, that are really going to be able to distinguish between great weed and whack weed.
It's probably only like 15%.
Really?
Yeah. And most of the rappers don't even know that shit neither. They just like good. You feel me? They just smoking anything.
Right.
But when it breaks down to like genetics and what they're smoking, they do not know.
Right.
They don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I was with one of the king like older dudes we look up to. I don't want to name drop him, but you know he's a king out there in New York. You feel me? First rapper, all this shit, was doing shit. Not the first rapper, but an older dude rapper. Loves smoking weed, does everything, but don't know nothing about the weed. And that shit is amazing to me too. It's like, damn, like how you know what how you don't know? But he said, I don't know anything. I just know it's good. I look at it, boom, this sells it. You feel me? And I'm like, damn, like. You don't even know the genetics? I don't give a fuck about the genetics.
I'm like that. I don't know the genetics, yeah.
But it's like once you even get into it, you gon' get curious and interested in it, you know? Because all this shit is literally like candy. It's like when you tasting candy. All this shit is different flavors.
Right.
There's nothing here that's the same fucking weed.
But do you have different types of weed that you like to smoke at 4 different occasions or 4 different time periods?
To be honest, I mix all my weed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't even, like when I first taste it, like, you know, all this is different, right? I'll roll a blunt just to taste it.
Right.
But then once I taste every weed, I'm mixing all the weed.
Do you think you can really taste it through the blunt? Is that the best way to taste it? Or would a bong be like a more accurate way to really tell what's going on with the weed?
I think a bong, I think more of a joint, you know?
Okay.
If you was to have papers, you could literally taste the weed.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah, to be honest, people be thinking, you could taste the weed, but we just hooked on the fucking tobacco.
Oh, yeah. Are you concerned about that?
I don't give a fuck. I smoke. Real shit. I smoke.
You never smoke cigarettes?
Hell no. I hate cigarettes.
That's against your religion?
Asthma, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Does the blunts and the weed affect that?
No, I don't use my inhaler no more. Not like that, you know. Like I used to be at the hospital, crazy when I was young.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
My mom I used to be in an ambulance like it was a tour bus. Like I used to be in that bitch every time. Like
really?
Yeah, it was crazy. And then I got into sports and I still needed an inhaler, but when I started smoking weed, it was like it started. I guess it healed it or some shit.
Really?
Shit, mania.
Fascinating. Okay, so once you start pushing your own brand, do you turn into an even more extreme version of yourself where you're like you're making the money, so like you're hustling way harder than you had been before?
Hell yeah. This shit get harder because now everybody is in the industry now.
Right.
Feel me? Because I was one of them. I was one of them little kids off syrup, high as hell on the couch, you know what I'm saying? And for me to like transition to get this shit going, everybody's like, shit, if L doing it, shit, why can't we do it? And then a lot of the homies around me, it was more like, bro, you tripping if you're not picking up and getting this shit going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You see what the fuck going on. You sleep, bro. Because my thing was like, I'm not giving you niggas no money. For what?
But now you're in the same position that you were with Cookies.
Yeah, no, but it's not. I'm not giving niggas no money, but I gave you a platform so you could make some money.
Yeah.
Feel me? There's a difference. I'd rather teach you how to fish than nigga give you some fish.
Right.
Nah, so now you could go fish for your family, for your kids, for your peoples and show them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They be always saying each one teach one. Nah, each one teach 10.
If you had to start over right now and make a brand new weed brand hot, what do you do? What's the best thing for you to be doing with your time to make this shit hot in the streets?
Shit, you gotta come buy a stamp. Cause that's the game, you feel me? Cause I'm gonna just keep it real. I'll tell you after we get off there, you feel me?
Right.
But like to get them this whole 411, nah, hell nah. Like,
but so when you think about that time period in your life where you were just on tour and just running around and meeting people left and right and giving them the product and all that shit, does that kind of, when you look at that in retrospect, are you like, it's like maybe that was not the most beneficial way, or was that important?
That was important. Being outside, networking, rubbing elbows and kissing babies is how you network. It's literally, it don't matter what. I could be selling dirt.
Right.
I'm gonna be outside with where it's lit at selling dirt.
Right.
Yo, this shit'll make your flower go crazy. Man, I'm telling you, I got the best dirt. I got the best soil in the world. What?
But is that not the best use of your time now that you already have this big fucking network and you know about mad different ways that you could promote shit that scales? Like, if you know which billboards to buy that are going to drive people crazy and make them all stop at the dispensary down the street, that might have a better return on investment than just being on tour. I don't know.
But we're doing all that though. We're doing billboards, we're doing merchandising, we're doing radio runs, we're doing everything possible. It's just like building any brand. It's a brand. I'm not building weed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like weed just happen to be one of the SKUs in this brand.
Right.
You know, I could do Runtz tires next year. You know what I'm saying? Runtz automobiles, Jokes Up fucking tables. We get into furniture. It's like I don't understood branding all the way. Now it's like, all right, I know how to get a brand to where it needs to get as far as a certain level.
Right.
And then we sell this shit. Jokes up.
100%.
That's the end of the goal. You feel me? Build this shit up and sell this shit. And we could do it again.
Right.
I seen an interview with Sunny Digital as far as even when they was asking him like, would it be hard for you to like sell the songs or whatever it is that you writ that's your shit?
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
said, hell no.
Hell no, I'm selling that everything for sale
Everything
around
for
this
sale.
bitch. You hear me?
Right.
I swear to God, because we going to get it and do it again and do it better.
So you could be down to your last QP and somebody wants to offer you the right bread for it, and hey, here
I wouldn't
you go.
even, to be honest, I wouldn't even sell the key. I'll give it away.
Really?
Yeah, I'll get at, man, here, bro. Here. That's what Jack was even teaching us. Man, it's weed, man. This shit grow in our backyard, bro.
Really?
You feel me? Especially, like, this shit bring people together. You feel me? Literally, bro. Like, what? Hey, you smoke weed? All right, roll up. Then next you know, a whole different conversation goes about, oh, what you do? What you do for a living? Oh, what? Oh, yeah, this what? Oh, yeah, you know, I can help you. What are we doing?
Right.
You know? So, like, hell nah, bro.
When did you really start to feel like the run shit was just kicking off in the sense that you're hearing it in songs left and right?
When I was literally on the road and all this shit, because I was already, Cookies gave me that fucking confidence. Like, this shit is happening, bro. You feel me? So even with me, it was like, bro, if we don't do this shit, we dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? So even going in, like I told you, I was a young bull, believing already that I was gonna do something. This was it. Fuck it. We going in.
Right.
I was doing music before this shit. You feel me? Like I said, I was on tour with Carti doing the music shit, but this shit took off.
Yeah.
They didn't know me for my music.
You kind of closed the door on the music shit?
Hell nah.
No?
I got music. I got albums. I got shit with Trippie Redd.
Oh, wow.
I got some shit with Dej Loaf.
But you haven't put out a music video in a little while, right?
Just because we just opened up a dispensary.
Right.
You know? Me and my business partner, Scott.
On Ventura in Studio City?
Yeah, Jokes Up Ice Cream is right there in Studio City on Ventura.
Okay.
Yeah, we just did it. So
What made you want to open up there?
because he already had the dispensary.
Oh, okay.
You know, so when we partnered up, it was more of us combining together, and we were just like, we're going to go in.
Right.
So we converted it into a Jokes Up ice cream store.
Right. Why do you think the Runtz thing worked so good? Like, it just fucking took off and just hit like a different level that we're just not used to seeing brands get to. I feel like one of the things was the whole meme of the fake runs.
That's really too, you know? It was literally everything, bro. Everything possibly that you could think about fucking branding, it was it. The fake runs helped it a lot.
Really?
You know, they're making fake ass, because Obama Runtz was fake.
Really? It was always fake?
That was never real. We heard the fucking meme going crazy. I immediately, what? Oh, we're making a song. We're doing Obama Runtz. We're making the whole shit. And then even my business partner like, shit, we're doing it. We even had Obama Runtz t-shirt. We sold 20,000 units of it, bro.
Isn't that crazy that once people start bootlegging shit that they might think of good ideas that you haven't even had yet?
That shit was bootleg, right? So I called, I'm like, bro, we need to figure out who this chick was, because she was running around with a viral clip.
Yeah.
You know, and this shit went viral. I'm like, who is this? You feel me? And I figured, they told me who it was. I got in contact with her. I'm like, yo, you want to fly out to the Bay Area? We about to shoot a music video. I need you in this shit. Literally, we made that song that day, flew her out a few days later, and Nero, my brother Nero's on the song. Literally, Nero, bro, I got us one. Like, we in the studio, literally recorded this shit, and this shit became fucking viral.
Wow.
And then we just said, fuck it, we gonna act the whole shit out like Obama Runtz. Hopefully Obama starts scratching at our door, knocking at our door, like, yo, y'all need to stop that shit.
You think if you got sued that it would be good overall for the brand?
Fuck yeah! I wish the White House sent me a cease and desist. You shitting me? We got. Yeah, they knowing about us over there. You feel me? Like I know they
It'd probably
heard
be
about
bad
it.
for Obama's legacy. You know,
Shit.
he should be encouraging young black entrepreneurs.
For sure. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Fuck. It's not the weed. I'm pumping a brand, bro. I'm an entrepreneur. I done became legal. I got packaging company. You feel me? Like, we got our own shit.
Right.
Like, this ain't us selling weed, bro.
Let me tell you, one day I was downtown LA and some guy sees me. I'm out riding bikes with my friends and he says, hey man, come in here. Let me give you some weed, yada, yada. He's got a store. I walk in. He got packs from like 10 different weed brands. He got hella fake packs everywhere. And I'm just looking at it and I'm like, you make these for the brands? He's like, oh no, I'll be bootlegging them. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, how do they feel about that? He's like, oh, they fucking hate me. How do you look at those kind of people who are out here making money off of your brand name? Can you hate on the game?
I swear I don't hate. At first I was tripping because I was like the Runtz, like, yo, what the fuck you doing? Where'd you get it from? Nah, hell no, that's fake. That ain't for me. Then I started like for what?
Right. Because you're not going to be able to stop.
But then and not just that, I just understand that this fucking industry was $100 billion industry. What am I hate on the next nigga trying to feed his family? You feel me? I became that person. Like, nah, the cup is halfway full, not halfway empty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if he could help pay his rent and all this shit with it, fuck it. And my thing was like, it's just gonna help the brand. You feel me? Fuck it, let them sell fake. Nah, then I started even becoming shit. Let's sell some fake packaging too, shit.
Right.
I'm with that too. Why are we gonna let the bootleggers win? Nah, let us win too, you know? But I couldn't police all that shit, man. Fuck all that shit, bro. Let everybody eat. You feel me?
But
and then
sometimes somebody might do something with your brand that you're not comfortable with. Like, for instance, the Obama Runtz seems funny, but what if it was Trump Runtz? Then all of a sudden...
they got that.
Oh, they got that too? But I mean, you might look kind of crazy if people think that you're really endorsing Trump,
shit, Trump was the one that gave everybody EDD.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all gonna be mad at that for?
Look at the bright side.
Shit, shout out to, you feel me? The EDD checks, man. You know what I'm saying? That kept everybody lit through the pandemic.
That was good for the Runtz business.
Come on, that was great. That was great. You know what I'm saying? For real. There was no motion. I understand we became a fucking, like, a needing product, you know what I'm saying? Through the pandemic and all this shit, you couldn't go nowhere. All the stores was closed.
All of a sudden, it was way more important to get high.
But everybody wanted to get high. It was crazy. The numbers went out the roof during the pandemic.
You know what's funny is that, because after I first watched this one interview with you, I hit up Desto Dubb, and I said, bro, this dude is your fucking twin.
That is my twin.
And that's what he said. He said, that is my twin.
That's my twin.
Because you guys say so many similar things. Like, you don't talk the same or whatever, but just like in terms of your mentality on shit, there's so many overlapping things. And exactly the same during the pandemic. He fully like had just been kind of traveling with Pump and doing his brand, but he hadn't really taken it to the next level. And then the pandemic hits. Everything is closed. He's like, fuck it, I'm out here in my van and I'm gonna sell shit to all the people that can't go to the Supreme store, that can't go to wherever. You know, he just fully took advantage of that and took his brand to a whole new level.
That shit was lit. You know, that's how we did an awful lot of Runtz.
Yeah.
We did an awful lot of Jokes Up. And those fucking pop-ups and events were so fucking viral. That shit did numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I brought the Benny HIbachi truck. That, you know, shout out to Benny HIbachi. They my people. Shout out to Grab Elise, you know?
Right.
Like, we did a lot with helping them brands too. You know what I'm saying? Like, Benny HIbachi only had 100 followers. Literally 5 years ago, right? Everybody was talking about Teppanyaki 405. That was the truck.
Right.
You feel me? Even Shoreline Mafia, they made a song.
Yeah.
You feel me? So when I was lit, I just came to LA. I was staying at my partner B-Rad's house, and I walked down to Hollywood and I see this truck. And I'm like, damn, this shit crazy. Shit look like Benny on wheels. And I called B-Rad like, yo, what's the truck called? Is it called Benny HIbachi? And he was like, nah, it's Teppanyaki. And I'm like, well, shit, this one look fire. You feel me? And then literally I went to the Instagram, it was like 100 followers. I just got off tour with Carti. ASAP Bari was in Japan at the time. I literally put the Instagram, went on Instagram and like, oh yeah, I just bought me a new truck. Woo, woo, went crazy, yeah. Benny on wheels. Bari hit me the next day, like, what the fuck did you do, bro? I'm like, yeah, I just bought me a truck. But I was capping.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I just bought me a truck, bro. It's Benny on wheels. They was like, stop fucking lying. I'm like, I swear to God. He was like, when I land tomorrow, I'm coming straight to the truck. When he landed and he came to the truck, I took him to the truck. It was over after that. Playboi Carti started coming, Chief Keef. Everyone started coming to the truck because the truck was open till 3 a.m. And it was in Hollywood. And then 4 or 5 years ago, I was trapping. So every time I was, you know, I was doing my thing, I would go to Crazy Girls. right? And we had crazy girls, and then I would call Benny HIbachi to bring me plates. I would be the only one getting plates come to the Benny up to the crazy girls. So I would send everybody to go there.
Is
like,
the strip club's a big part of the networking experience?
Hell yeah.
That's when people are really in their element, huh?
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's just like, when you go in the clubs or anywhere,
right?
Club or anywhere like that, you got the brands or whoever it is that buy them bottles, they got their names coming out.
Right.
So shit, put the Runtz on there.
Because you're in a room full of somewhat influential people a lot of the time, huh?
Yeah, so we gonna brand the shit. We ain't gonna put Young LB, fuck that. We gonna put the Runtz gang.
Right.
We gonna put Jokes Up so they see it. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. Because then even to that, when you look at everyone around me, everybody is caked up. You don't know who the boss. You don't know who the leader is.
When you do something like the white Runtz, or you just do all these different flavors and everything, is that always like that's how you always do it? You have to have completely different packaging for everything.
Yeah, for everything.
But does it start with the product?
Yeah, hell yeah.
It always has to be like a different.
Yeah, it has to be a different
You never
cut.
have like a great packaging idea and then you just end up putting the same weed in the bag.
At first, I ain't gonna lie, that was the lick.
Right.
It was just that, but. Once you started getting different buds and different structures and, different genetics from different people, it was just like, no, we'll be dumb as hell. We got to brand this. You feel me? So everything had its own, flavor for sure.
Shout
but
out
the
to,
world now, right now, they buying the same flavor and putting 10 different packaging in it.
Shout out to Zan Princess because her ass was on the Coochie Runtz bag.
Oh shit! I didn't even know who was that.
Oh yeah,
I didn't
the
even know.
homegirl who was on the podcast the other day.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know who was that. I swear to God, they just put that together and made the packaging, and the shit went viral even more.
Right.
And they did that with I forgot his name up in Detroit. The Coochie Man dude.
Y&J.
Yeah, Y&J. You feel me? That was the collab with him.
The Coochie Runtz.
Yeah, the Coochie Runtz. You feel? Because he was doing the Coochie Man. So I was like, fuck it. This dude's killing up. Let's just do a fucking bag for him.
Right.
And just let this shit go viral.
So when did you start Jokes Up and what's the difference?
Jokes Up was a saying. Shout out to Boo Banger. That's my brother. And a few other people in Oakland in the Bay. It's a saying. It was a saying.
Right.
It's just like.
You've used it pretty efficiently.
Yeah, it was just more like how New York be saying, you shitting me?
Right.
Fuck out of here. Atlanta, no cap,
Sounds good.
Same shit. So with us, it was Jokes Up. Motherfuckers be capping, man, Jokes Up. Stop playing, bro.
Right.
You feel me? And when Runtz was going, we had a deal with cookies.
Right.
So when I was hearing about the deal with cookies, I was never at the meetings. They was just handing them the deal on their own and would just tell me about the deal, But when you in business with 3 people, it's majority rules, So I was always getting outvoted, and they was just running the play, and I'm like, fuck it, I trust y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then we was in a deal with cookies for 3 years, and fucking the shit didn't go how we presented it and wanted to go. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
So yeah, and when that shit started going, I felt like that we weren't getting the publicity or the support that we needed. I was like, man, they got me fucked up. I'm starting, Jokes Up became it.
What kind of deal did you have with cookies, though? It was like a distribution deal, or?
We had a fucking, they got in on the company.
Okay. But did you feel like they always wanted cookies to be bigger?
I feel like that's every big dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the crazy part. But me, I don't give a fuck if my brother gets bigger than me. Because he's going to get bigger, get the bag, and nigga double back then.
Right.
Show me how to get it. You feel me? I'm a team player.
So Jokes Up was an opportunity for you to do something that was 100% you?
Jokes Up was just a saying, right? And then when the shit started happening, I was like, yo, I need a logo for this shit because now I'm going to start doing merch. It was, you feel me? So I put the Jokes Up logo on every Runtz bag. So it just looked incognito.
Right.
It was just like Jokes Up Runtz, Jokes Up Runtz, Jokes Up Runtz, but it was 2 different institutes. I'm 100% owner of Jokes Up.
Right.
And it's I got some business partners as far as some players at the table and shit that helped out fully and all, and shit like that. But as far as when I felt that, I was like, I'm starting my own shit. You feel me? So hell no. So I started using that. And then from that, we just started having it on every bag, and it just helped the brand overall, as far as the look. And then when it was time for us to literally we doing our shit, I just literally took it and just went, all right, we going full throttle, So it was a few brands like Frosties, Cream Soda, Shark Lotto, those are my brothers. So I was able to put the Jokes Up on the bags, you feel what I'm saying? And then that just built the name.
You feel like Jokes Up is indicative of a new era in weed naming where people are starting to get away from like the food flavors?
For sure.
It's kind of been tapped out to a certain extent, right?
For sure. We for sure created that. You know what I'm saying? And we was the first one to put images on our packaging. Like Burner had the C logo, you know? It was just a black bag or a white bag and it had the C logos everywhere. We actually put an image on packaging.
Right.
You know? So that right there just changed the industry.
Does the packaging add a lot of cost to it?
Yes.
I bet. Some of the shit I'm looking at, I'm like, damn, that must add a lot.
Hell yeah.
Especially with the crazy cutouts and everything.
That's those right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, there you go. That's the collab. But like, damn. Like even putting the zipper at the bottom and shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of smart.
You know? It's just more, it's branding though. It's like, you know, it's just like when you buy anything. It don't matter what you buy. Grab leaves. It's just packaged.
Every skateboard in the store is pretty much the same. They just got different pictures on them, and the kids are buying them based on what skater they like, what brand they relate to.
But then, you know, the weed game is like, it's just like how alcohol was through a prohibition era. You know what I'm saying? It was only a few states that had it legal. Every law is different. Every state got its own law. That's the only reason why it ain't federally fully legal.
Right.
You know? So once that shit kick into that, it's over. It just went from 100B to probably a T.
But do you worry about the game getting taken over by like corporate entities?
In a way, at first it had me like, damn, what the fuck we gonna do, you know? But we so much as far, it's all about branding though, you know? They gonna come. There's no stopping the big dogs, no, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta build a brand so big that they want it. You know? So that's what it is. We're building a brand to where you can't even turn no other way and not see us and see what we got going on.
When you go to some weed events and shit these days, though, it's like, like there's no weed being smoked in the arena. They're fucking. It looks like, you know, software companies and shit. Like the branding is changing a lot. Like they're trying to make it super clean and accessible. I'm assuming you don't really care for this change.
I do, but that's just like. I'm so all the way on the marketing campaign and all this shit. Is like I let my team just take care of it, and if it's to us, because the marketing and branding for us to give them that awareness is needed. Because there's a lot of people that got long money and got weed companies and all this shit, but they're dying. Some of them selling their grow houses, some of them is selling their distributions, all this shit because they got no motion. Right. We got motion with us. You know what I'm saying? Like. I mean, we are the streets. So once you got the streets, you'll be able to. You got everything.
But there's two different things. There's selling weed and just making money incrementally like that, and then there's building a brand, which is like in the long term, building this IP has a lot bigger, you know, potential valuation down the road. Is that how you look at it more now? Is it's all about just building the brand?
Yeah, it's building a brand for me. You know what I'm saying? Because we could make money. That's not. If that was about making money, I wouldn't even be here. I'll just be some rich motherfucker tucked off in Tonga somewhere. You know
There's a lot of rich guys who've made a lot of money off weed and don't really care to be out there publicly.
Hell no. But now I ain't know. Some of them is starting to tap in.
Right.
For real, they curious. Like what the fuck? Because we made a household name in 4 years. It takes 30 years to build a household name.
Right. You feel like you came into the game at the right point to avoid having to, like, it's especially with the law. When I look at shit like Burner and you. 10 years earlier, that could have ended way differently if you were, you know, doing this much business in terms of weed, right?
Oh no, because we were still doing it 10 years ago.
Right, but you managed, like you were under.
We just Instagram helped out a lot.
You were underground when it made sense to be underground, and you're above ground in terms of the shit that it makes sense to be out here for.
Even to that, when I went public, as far as like when I was on Instagram or on, like, you know, promoting it, I was promoting the brand. I wasn't promoting weed ever.
Right. So you knew that from the beginning?
I just did because I wasn't going to tell on myself.
Countless people in the game have had their Instagrams deleted in the weed world. It feels like it's worse than almost everything besides maybe porn. Like, how do you look at that?
I just got my shit deleted one time.
But you got it back, right?
Yeah, just got it back. My shit got deleted on 420 and I ain't even post no weed. Ouch. That was the crazy part.
It's all haters,
you know?
Right? Competitors?
But my account is verified, you know what I'm saying? So it was like it wasn't like, you know, hard for me to get it back, but it was like it took them a while because they was just like they were trying to keep me off the gram from weed shit. And it's like, bro, I'm not pushing weed on this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like never did I post weed and our shit got deleted.
Do you think it's competitors? It's like,
yeah, for sure. It was some haters.
That's some crazy shit in the weed game.
It is what it is. The shit, you know, it comes with it though. It's territory when you got the throne.
Right.
You feel me? Like, you gotta imagine a nigga like Mayweather.
Right.
He get haters every fucking day, bro. He got the throne. He's 50 fucking what, 50-0, 55-0, whatever it is. But it's like everybody gonna keep throwing rocks at the throne, bro.
So if you see somebody hating online, are you the type to more ignore it, or you jump in there and get involved?
Nah, I be ignoring that shit. You know, that should be. I see it though.
Right.
It's fuel. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to prove y'all wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because this wasn't even presented to us. Like I said, I thought I was gonna be a basketball player or rapper or some shit. So now that we built this platform, I understand my position. Now it's time to take this shit serious. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we built a brand off of it, a real empire. You know? Like, this shit is huge. Huge, bro. And then we just got into the CBD world, so that's a whole nother check.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Damn,
like,
so you feel like you can push the CBD shit under your brand names and
Yes.
that doesn't hurt the reputation
Hell
of the
no.
brands?
Fuck no. That's just another SKU.
Really?
Hell yeah.
You can do Delta 8,
Delta
Jokes
8,
Up?
everything.
It's okay.
Hell yeah, Jokes Up. Me and Ice Cream, we got it coming. Jokes Up, Ice Cream, Deltas, everything.
Really?
Hell yeah. We ain't playing. We got these too though. We got vapes. Like, we ain't fucking around.
That's good to know, because we got offered some ads from some Delta 8 companies, and we kind of decided that
You better stop playing.
you got to hop on it.
Hell yeah, that's a check.
We thought that it might, kind of fuck up our image long term, though.
Fuck no. Everybody, bro, hell no. Hell no. You tripping. That's
Okay.
another SKU. Take it. Run with it. So, it's,
What do we got here?
we got pens and shit too. Vapes, we got our own shit.
Right.
That's the ice cream one.
You make more money off this kind of shit than just selling flour?
Flour is 40% of the industry. You feel
Really?
me? So the other 60% is all these different SKUs like vapes, edibles, wraps, So shit, we capitalize on the whole industry.
Who else do you look at as like the great entrepreneurs in the weed space? The people that you look at that inspire the shit out of you like Burner did?
I don't know. Like, there's some big dogs for sure. Like when I went to Atlanta, I was out there fucking around with some big dogs out there. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no brand that I looked up to like that. It was just because I was around cookies. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Viola. You know what I'm saying? That's bro.
Okay.
Like, they've been in the industry. He been doing this shit for like 10 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they ain't even got flour. That dude was all concentrated. That's why it's all dope, because everybody got their own little lane. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we just all add into this shit and just make this shit bigger.
Definitely.
But it's big brands out there that's doing their shit. But as far as looking up to anybody, it was only cookies back then, that I felt like that was on the biggest platform doing what they was doing. Or just watching like High Times, you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, seeing that type of shit was more like, fuck, this is raw. But like Cheech and Chong, for sure, movies like How High with Redman and Method Man, shit
Right.
like that was super inspirational. Like,
Do you
what?
get influenced by like fashion brands and shit like that? Because
yeah.
I feel like that might be more where you're pulling inspiration from.
For sure. Shout out to V Long. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, them my guys, like, for real, like, that opened up a lot of eyes to us kids coming from urban areas to get some money, for real.
Right.
Fashion.
Because when I look at this shit, I think of it more like skateboard style branding or streetwear type shit, which I think that's like kind of one of the major innovations of guys like you and Burner, is finding ways to basically like make it more than just weed, make it a lifestyle, make it an image.
So we got skate too. We got Run Skate Team.
Oh, really?
Hell yeah. We got skaters and shit, like, sponsored and all that, just to be, you feel me? Get some weed, give them some boards, all the shit here. Run. Give them some merch, everything. We got like Runtz bearings, hella little shit.
And you said you got sued at one point, or did they threaten to sue you?
No, they gave me a cease and desist.
Okay.
So
The candy company who makes
But
Runtz.
I got fucking like 3 different ones cease and desist. I got a cease and desist from Lord's Ice Cream.
Oh, okay.
I got it from different brands like Briars. It was a few different brands that I was like, yo, we got to change this shit all the way.
Right. So you have to just end up changing the shit out of the logo, or what? Like the original Runtz logo looked a lot like the original
exactly.
Runtz candy,
and
right?
that's why we changed it to be in cursive. Because you can't get sued for pronunciation.
Right.
Oh,
that makes sense.
So so we just had to spell it. We just had to have the look different. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we changed the whole shit.
So you get the cease and desist, and are you even like having your lawyer talk to them, or you just change your shit and kind of ignore it?
I had my lawyer, like, we changed the shit and I had my lawyer talk to them.
Okay.
Like, I be on some real business shit. I ain't trying to get sued. But it's good to know that they're watching. They know, you know, we're hitting the surface.
Right.
A lot of awareness is getting, you know, to the world as far as like, oh shit, we getting sued by some corporate people.
Right.
All right, bet.
Probably not who we want to fuck with.
Nah, we'll just go this way.
Yeah,
You feel me?
right.
I ain't got no $2 million to go against y'all. Y'all gonna be fucked up.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah, we were having that conversation earlier that it's kind of crazy in the weed game because the people who like there's only such a tiny percentage of people who really know about the product that pushing the image just seems like so much more important. But I mean, you really got to have both, huh?
Yeah, you just got to have both all the way. And then not just that, it's just more your network. You know, you got to utilize your network as much as possible. You know, it's just like you said, like how me and Dub, like that's my twin. He utilizes every fucking network he has. You feel me? Like every rapper, everything. You know what I'm saying? And then not just that, like giving them some fucking weed or clothes and all this shit goes a long way.
Right.
Long way, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you're gonna have to pay your partner to pop out to an event. Fuck it. You're making some money anyway.
Right.
Why not?
You don't consider yourself above that in terms of if you want somebody to pull up to an event or something, you might have to cut them a check for it?
Nah, hell no. I'm not you know, because I know the game.
Right.
This shit ain't free. Some people do this shit out of love though, you know what I'm saying? But like, even when they do it out of love, I'm still gonna, you know what I'm saying, grease they palm, like, here you go, player, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
For sure, it ain't gonna be always anything free.
Yeah, because I remember back in the day going to like a meet and greet type thing that like a dude I know who was like in the fashion shit and he had paid some big rapper to pull up to the thing. And I remember just being like, what the fuck? Like I couldn't imagine giving somebody 20 grand or whatever it was to pull up to the event. But now as an adult, when I think about that, you know, it's the same thing with like paying for a feature.
Exactly.
It's like if you pay for the right feature and you're the right artist, then that paying for that feature, you might make 10 times as much off that. You know,
it's an investment though.
Yeah.
Everything you gotta look at it as a business move. It ain't never on some, damn, I just gave this dude this. Nah, hell no. You giving him this because you know you're gonna make this.
right?
You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole outlook at that shit. Like, I'm not just paying him, I'm investing in this shit. I know he's gonna bring this amount of people that's gonna come purchase things, and I'm gonna be able to capitalize on this, you know?
It's funny because over the years, I've known a lot of weed brands that were, you know, owned by some fugazi-ass people that realistically were not the type of people that were going to be able to just go be around rappers and do all the kind of shit that you're doing. So then they hire people to basically try to like have them kind of be the face of the brand and do their marketing and stuff. But I feel like it's so tough because such a huge percentage of the people that you get who want to do that kind of gig are just trying to be cool. They're just trying to have friends. They're just trying to like kick it in the studio. And I feel like a large percentage of the time it doesn't end up working out very well for those brands.
Don't, you know?
But you're like the real version of that. So it just happens effortlessly for you.
Because even to that, it's like, if I was to send somebody to go to a studio to go give a care package to somebody, they just gonna drop out the care package.
Right.
You feel me? Like, if I'm coming to bring it to you, I'm coming to fuck with you. You know, I'm coming to chill. You know what I'm saying? I got my cameraman. We're gonna get some footage. We're gonna let people know it's real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And genuinely though.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not coming if I'm not invited. Period. You feel me? So if I'm getting the invitation to come somewhere, and then it gotta be the same. We gotta be on the same energy link. You know, one wave. Like, it gotta be the same energy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's not worth it for you to fuck with some rapper that you can't stand being around just to get it into his hands.
Hell nah. Fuck all that. My thing, everybody that we build with is genuine. You know what I'm saying? Like, we made it on Nas' album.
Right.
You feel me? I ain't never met Nas yet.
Right.
You know?
That's how big the brand is.
So it's a blessing to have that type of, like, you know, energy where people just support it on GP. You know what I'm saying? So with that, it's like, I gotta be able to give him a good care package on the strength.
Right.
You know, just because he's keeping the name brand lit. Like, what? Here you go, bro. Just cause, like, what? And I never met him. You know what I'm saying?
I heard Nas be stoned as fuck.
I never met him yet.
I've just like heard people say that he's definitely still smoking heavy.
That's lit. Shit. Here, I got something for you. Jokes up. You feel me?
What's the future hold for you? You got this dispensary, you got your new brand and everything. Like, what do you see being the next step, or like what are you focused on right now?
Just opening up more stores, you know what I'm saying, and crossing the states with it.
Right.
We just, the stores I got in LA in Studio City is a Jokes Up ice cream store. Then I have a Jokes Up clothing store downtown across the street from the crypto center.
Oh, nice.
You know, so and we have a delivery service attached to that. So it's like we got 2 locations, you know what I'm saying? And then we just partnered up with somebody in Florida. You know, they got 22 licenses in Florida. We was able to partner up with one license, you know what I'm saying? And that's a Runtz deal though. So it's like, you know, that's kind of like the blessing that I have as far as even having both of brands, because it's like, you know, I could do one with one brand and I could do the other with the other brand, you know?
Right.
And I'm not in no exclusive contract. I could do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, it just helps out because it's 2 different looks as far as with Runtz. We have a whole different look with Runtz, and then Jokes Up is a whole different look.
Right.
But we all under the same umbrella. We push everybody around me as Runtz. Everybody around me is Jokes Up.
You fuck with the mushroom shit, or is that you're
I
leaving
tried
to
that
other
shit.
people?
That shit be fire. It's just it's got to be a vibe. You can't just pop the shit and you around your
Right.
dogs. You feel me? You got to be with your shorty or some shit, and I mean, you know, vibe out with it.
But you couldn't see yourself doing a mushroom brand, or is that a possibility?
Hell yeah, why not? Hell, why not? That's another SKU. I do anything legally brands, I'm doing them.
Right.
Fuck yeah, I do alcohol. We're doing the tobacco right now. We're doing the Runtz wrap.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. My business partners went out there to fucking DR, and they've been in the forest just looking for leaves. So I'm like, fuck it, let's get a check in that, you know?
Wow.
But, you know, like I said, I've been down with, like, you know, the team and shit like that. You know, it's grab a gang, you know what I'm saying? Like, these my boys. So they don't pay me, you feel me? This is just genuinely my niggas, and I love to rap. So it's like, fuck it, let's push this shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
You think that's taking over the Backwoods?
hell yeah, Backwoods is over with. They're
Over with.
Done. If you still smoking Backwoods, kill yourself. Fuck you mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, we grab around this bitch,
I got
bro.
off the woods and on the spliffs, so I guess I'm on
I ain't
board with
gonna-
that too.
You know how you live. I don't know. I might, but I ain't, because I was smoking joints before.
Right.
You know? But it was like everybody don't know how to smoke a joint. That shit be coming back with side burning, all this shit. And it's like joint is supposed to be by yourself. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I transferred to fucking Backwoods, I was just like, you know, it was a friendly thing. It was, oh, pass the weed to the left, pass it, you know?
Right.
And then when I started fucking around with these rappers, they would never pass the weed.
Right.
So then I just became one of them. I came into that, never passing the weed.
Yeah.
So I'll just roll my own weed now. You know what I'm saying?
And then sometimes I'll be around normie ass people and I'll realize that they're expecting me to pass them the weed.
Exactly. That should be crazy, right? So then, right, I just give them some weed.
Right. That's
Roll
true.
your own weed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what you be doing. I don't know where you been out here. I'm here. You feel me? But sometimes I'll hit other people weed just so, you know, to try, because I don't want to be super disrespectful.
Right.
But if they have weed, give me the weed and I'll roll it in my own grabber, and then I'll you know, and we can smoke like that type
I
shit.
think the
you feel
first
me?
night that happened to me, I was in the studio with Glow Gang, and I'd been in there for a few hours, and I realized that I was not high at all anymore, and that nobody was going to pass me a wood.
Nobody.
No.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. Being around the rappers, they don't pass no weed.
Right.
And then if you was rolling weed and you pass it to them, they're not passing it back.
Ooh.
So that shit be like, man, fuck these niggas, man. I'm about to roll my own weed, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just roll my own fucking blunts and just smoke. And then anybody that I'm with, I just give them weed to roll.
Right.
Because you ain't hitting this.
Having personals, that's real boss shit.
Yeah, it wasn't even on no boss shit. It was just like, it was Corona too, though.
That's a good point.
You feel
too,
me?
man.
Like, hey, hold on. You got COVID? Hold on. Hell, matter of fact, here's your own weed.
We definitely stopped passing blunts around for a minute there, maybe a couple weeks. I feel like everybody started doing it again, but then I stopped smoking wood, so.
Hell yeah. So, you know, but that's where we at with it
They're
now.
going to be on my ass if they see me smoking a wood again, which I'm sure they will, but fuck them.
Fuck them. Jokes up.
What are you pushing? Tell them where to go.
11376 Ventura Boulevard.
Right.
Jokes Up Ice Cream Dispensary. We lit. You could get every SKU that we got going on over there, you know. 811 West Olympic Boulevard, downtown Los Angeles. We got a department store, so you go get your clothing there.
Go hit the Lakers game.
Go hit the Lakers game. You feel me?
Probably you should hit the store first because the game get out, and then it'll
You
probably
hit
be too late.
Nah, we open till 10.
Oh, well then maybe yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Good
Like we
point.
used to be open till 9, but once we got the delivery attached to it, we just opened up a little bit late just so we could get the extra foot traffic, you know?
Right.
So any dispensary, as far as we're having a license for anything, you could open until 10 o'clock.
Anyone doing retail, if you're choosing to stay open later, that's a good sign, because the trend I noticed with retail is people just having days where they're not open or having they're open 2 to 6 or some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a good sign.
For sure.
Definitely.
But yep, those are the 2 locations, and then we're sitting down with different stores that we're gonna start having our product in. So You know, we just working for us. So
For sure.
those are the 2 locations guarantee you could catch us, and then our Instagrams and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely. Well, I appreciate your time, man. This has been very, very educational.
nah, I appreciate you for even having me. You know, because this shit, I'm a big fan of this shit. We be watching this shit. This shit be dope as hell.
Appreciate
you know?
that. Yeah.
And shit be funny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Be high as hell watching this shit. Shit be hella interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
and
it.
I ain't gonna lie. Like a few years ago, I even hit you on my shit. I ain't even get no response, and I was trying to do the run shit.
Yes,
So
I saw that the other day.
So
I was like, oh,
you know,
shit.
so nah, but it's just I had to work harder.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Well, you've been in position for a long time, man.
So
Can we do some no jumper runs? Can we do jokes up no jumper? What?
Hell yeah. Well, if you was to name your own weed besides no jumper, right?
Yeah.
What would you call the weed?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Jump shot. Fuck you talking about?
Something like
I
that.
just gave you an alley-oop.
Swish.
Yeah. What?
That's 20K for most people.
What? No.
The brand name?
125K to sit down.
Taxing.
We might just up the price on them to a quarter.
Why not?
You know, because we don't just want everybody at the table. It's not about money. You know what I'm saying? But we fucking with you. We need you at the table.
Let's go.
Let's do this shit.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Jokes up.
Young LB, man. Much love.
You hearing me?
No Jumper, coolest podcast in the world. Check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Patreon, Instagram, all that. Like, comment, and subscribe. NoJumper.com if you want to support.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
For sure. Appreciate you, buddy.